いします。
お願いします。
どうぞ、スメトスです。All right. Okay. Stay where you are. It's okay. Don't move. Hey, just sit down where you are. It's okay. Because then I have to ask you to go out of the camera again. No, all right. So, I'm happy we have YouTube. It's a record. You can check yourself after. You can go to YouTube, open the latest video, like this will be number 27. And then you see yourself to be able to reflect on what you're doing. Maybe it's helpful. Usually we don't use video analysis in aikido. But in every sport, it's very well known and very common. You know, you make a movement, you film it, you check from outside. Ah, okay, you see the timing or the technique was not perfectly matched or whatever. So usually we don't do that in aikido. But we use video too. I mean, for instance, embukayas are recorded and you can watch it. And so now you have yourself. You can observe yourself. If you go out of the camera angle, maybe, if you want to avoid this information, you go somewhere in these corners. But if you want to check yourself, come here or there. So, I show again what I was doing. Well, this technique, I said it's sumiyotoshi. Okay, so it's very simple. It's good warming up for uke because you can take backward ukemi, but nothing special. But how's the quality of the leading or the technique, would you say? How was my upper body? Straight and upright. Now, after I said that, now you will be maybe more focused on yourself to recognize how is your body. But go back to the YouTube channel tonight or tomorrow and check how was your position before I tried to remember you. And maybe you also can check how is it afterwards. So usually we prepare this. Okay. How to use your leg work, your center, and your upper body and your shoulder arms. Okay? But you see, this position is quite centered and upright. It's nothing like this. Okay? And it's also including, using the legs with flexible knees and joints, ankles, and hip joints, instead of being solid or in a wide grounded stance. It's very, let's say, actually narrow stance and weight balance between both feet, but hyperactive leg work. So even though we have Hanmi position, it's the same. It starts by the leg work, by the center, and relaxed arms. Now I change position, but I don't change my body position in a way of dysfunctional or different use of the body. So I'm not interested in making a quick effort to throw the partner. I'm just interested now in recognizing how do I use my body by influencing the partner so his kozushi grows to the extent that he has to take ukemi backwards. But this is the outcome of the process on myself, not on him. And it doesn't matter which angle it exactly is or which step you use. Maybe you don't need much steps, but the quality of how to do the step work or how to use the body, of course, is decided. You want to try again? Recognize yourself. Okay. Say it again. Hi.
You check the YouTube transmission because it's blurred, I think, on my screen. I tried to.
Oh, yeah, true. In fact, yeah, okay. Let me check that. Oh, what's going on? Huh. I might have to check now. Is it working now?
Yes.
And was the sound transmitted?
Yes.
Oh, funny, because I was advising the people to check themselves.
Yes. I hear it. Because I must turn on the voice from YouTube and live stream on the Zoom because I have double voice, so it's
Yeah.
one is half minute later. So.
Okay, so I switch down this microphone now and then I repeat my advice. Funny. Okay, thank you.
See you later.
Did you recognize? There was just a blurry screen, so nobody could see him. It was just a frozen picture. But the sound was transmitted, but no picture. So I advise people to check themselves and they can't see anything. Madness. Okay, I see. お願いします。Don't let go. Keep. Yes. お願いします。吉村さん。お願いします。Maybeか。はい、ありがとう。ペタ。はい、お願いします。 Mismos. Mismos. Okay. Actually, very funny. Sorry, we found out by Magda's help that we did not show any video image. It was just sound. So you you will not be able to check yourself at home as I advised you before, because there's just a blurry picture. Now it's recording and you're already on the next level because you've been so aware about how to use body. Now, let's discuss a little bit this situation. What has to be done here? So, as we always say, we start with our own body to change the relationship or the situation in this moment of katate dori, yakomi katate dori. Because if I would not influence Sylvia, but try to move like this to use the positioning of Sumiotoshi and break her balance then later, I would not be able to, or it's very difficult to control the second hand. Of course, here it would not be possible to stay. For instance, you could also do atemi or jodanski. Right, now we could say, like, if I move outside of this position, so out the line, this is one solution, technical. So I move away from the danger and then try to make her body collapse. But the other understanding, what we already applied and what you know, is how to change the position and keep this connection point so that this second hand cannot just go. For instance, now, in this kind of connection, Sylvia wouldn't be able to let go this hand, because I'm actually taking kind of, how to say, control over this area. If you would just let go, my hand is immediately in her face. So she cannot let go, and the reach and the distance is easy. Now, if she would like to take the second hand into action in this moment, you are not able to come to my face. Beside, you would let go this point, okay? Or the whole structure. But if you would let go the structure, I already showed the consequences. It's not possible. So you're open. Now, this kind of understanding, this structure, is something what we set up if we are doing this kind of practices and realize how to influence the partner's balance. Now, in Hammi, of course, it has a different direction. In which direction? Is she unstable? 2. Either there or there. Not in this line. So I need to either project to the front or also possible to the back, the connection. Okay? So somewhere here or there. Not in front or to the back of Sylvia. Okay? So by that, there's a change. Now, your front foot is not free because there's some weight balance on. The back side is more free. She could adjust this. But the front, if you would take away the front now, of course, you collapse immediately. So there is weight rested on. I am trying to control her backside because the front side is already in my leadership. But the backside is critical. So that's why, without losing this connection, I replace my position. Okay? If there's not this construction before, or this kind of connection in this way, it's highly dangerous because then the free hand of Uke could easily reach towards me and maybe do atemi or whatever. So if I would just try to do this, she is free to react with this side. Of course, then we could apply some atemi ourselves. So we create another level of stopping the partner. But the most efficient is taking the balance from the beginning and keep the Uke out of the balance. So if you readjust or replace yourself, the limits to collapse comes not by forcing, but by rearranging the position. So I just use center and knee work to apply this. Then I change, and this hand gives the same information. So basically, center and leg work is providing the kusushi. All right? Be sensitive for the second hand. If Uke is able, if I'm sloppy by the leading, yes, it's impossible. I should be aware of this situation. Now, if you try this again, it is not possible. Okay? Try again. Peter, wenn seine Hand bis zu deinem Gesicht kommt und dann du versuchst, ihn runterzuringen, dann ist sozusagen dein Runterringen nach dem Treffer passiert. Dann kann man eigentlich anhalten und sagen, okay, der Treffer war da, Wahrscheinlich, es ist relativ unwahrscheinlich, dass du noch zu diesem Ergebnis kommst, weil er sich ja bloß langsam zurückgehalten hat. Ja, aber wenn du zum Beispiel in eine Situation kommst, wo das passiert, dann macht es eigentlich keinen Sinn, die Form abzuschließen. Aber man kann an der Stelle korrigieren. Also du kommst hin und sagst, oh, die Hand ist gefährlich. Was muss geschehen, damit die aus der Reichweite kommt oder aus der Möglichkeit, mich zu treffen? So, selbst wenn du merkst, deine Initialbewegung führt zu diesem Problem, okay, wohin musst du dich stellen und wie den Körper dahinter bringen, damit das nicht passiert? Yes, was? So I've been just telling. I mean, if I create this situation that there could be Artemi, okay, what do I need to do to change so that your second hand is not possible to reach? So if I do kind of a mistake, that's not a problem. It's a reason or source for information. So you could reach. Now, I need to put myself in a place behind so the second hand is not functional towards me. And I show it again by, let's say, obvious body movement. If I do this, your hand can reach me. Okay, try. Yeah, come there. Okay. Now I change my body and I change how to use arms and legs. And by this, you feel like, oh, it's not enough. You don't reach me. You cannot reach me. So now I keep it from the beginning. Okay? Of course, now it's a slow process. We are building up an understanding for this relationship in kata no keiko, yakuhanmi positioning. Okay? Dozo. Okay. Okay. So I want to practice another form today, what I haven't done for about 20 years, maybe 15 years. I haven't done that kind of movement from katate dori, yakuani katate dori. You're familiar with the idea of taino tenkan, right? So that you turn around the bodies. I was learning for all the katate dori, yakuani katate dori situations, almost all the forms, like irimi nage, shihon nage, at least, when I started aikido, to do always this taino tenkan entrance. For shihon nage, for instance, it was always like this, and then start shihon nage. Okay, this great movements around. The same for irimi nage, it was like this, and then go. So it was like very, very circular, nice, dynamic movements. Now, for many years I didn't practice that because I doubted that I was able to control the partner, or I understood I am not able to control the partner. Because if I just apply the idea of circling around, and you've got the freedom to react to this, maybe this happens. Okay, once again, I circle strong. Okay, now there's a problem, so I cannot do it. So, not by forcing her, obviously. And there's a risk for an opening to my back or head. Now, but with this entrance, what we just practiced, we could do this circling around. But while we are controlling or keeping the partner out of balance or influencing the balance, because then your second hand is not free to touch me or to punch me or to reach out to me. So we start like this, we return, but now project your direction towards the backside, so she starts collapsing and I follow by Tenkan Ho. So you actually influence partner's balance first and adjusting the direction to the back of uke. When uke starts tumbling around, you adjust your Tenkan Ho to go with uke. Okay, that's step by step combined movement. Of course, if you're able to do that fluid, it's possible to do it immediately. But it has a different quality than to, do quick circles around each other and pull or push the partner into this turnaround. So it's a just experimental idea to configure Tai no Tenkan movement with the partner, because that's what we also need if it comes, for instance, to Yoko Minutsu, the understanding of how to make the partner move and come around without an opening for a second attack. Because I already showed, if I would not take her balance, this happens immediately. So now from Katate Dori, starting with the idea of this Sumiyotoshi movement, but take the partner around and adjust yourself, okay? Let's try that. Stay there. Don't push down. Take my balance away from my stance. Okay, so you can lead me into this circular movement. Yes. Now you're pushing here. If you push me like this, automatically my other side comes into the play. Okay. Take the balance. Now, don't push. Just project where I don't have. Yes. So, just feel it. If I would push downwards, keep stand. I mean, you can easily stand. And I am in the reach of this hand. Yes. But if I take your balance to where you don't have any support, it's different feeling, right? Actually, it feels more light. Not so powerful, but very effective. Okay, now put me there. Okay. And do this first step, like in the previous technique, immediately. So you take my balance. Just change your step work. So this hand comes into play. Now, take my balance. Okay. And you can, yes. Hi. Arigato. this hand. Okay. Okay. Let's check that, please. 吉村さん、お願いします。はい。So, how can there's no forcing down. The only force what goes down and what's free for everyone without any effort is gravity. Thank you. Yes, it's for free, endless. Well, it's not so much. It's actually, if I have an object like this, and I try to work against the gravity, it's super simple. Gravity for us is not much. It's not a big energy we feel, but it's there. And as soon as we relax, it affects our body. Instead of trying to push and not use it, just relax. The direction of the work is that if gravity, let's say, takes over some of my body, it goes downwards, yes, but it's not by my body, it's just by gravity. So in this situation, I direct his grasp or statics away from his stance. Highly efficient is not down, because this is in the direction of, let's say, 30% now, 40, 50%, now 60, 70, 100% away from his stance, where he is supported. So, in this case, now I replace myself, but I want to do the opposite direction to the backside, okay? And there's no need to put force from top on the arm. But on top of that, we rotate with the starting, let's say, rotation of the partner, so it comes to this situation. When Uke drops down, it's due to the fact that it's gravity what grabs him, not me putting him down. That's why there's very unlikely a position where I change to bring some force down. It's not. It's just around. Okay? So no need for the arms or the hands to send something this direction. They only send crossway, horizontal to the connection point. Of course, my knees and my center are lowered or bent, and by that lowered the center. And that's why my arms follow. So gravity can take from this position my arms down. And that's what you may feel. And maybe you even feel something like strength from my body, that there is some energy. Yeah, that's okay. It's not just super sloppy, but it's not, like rigid energy. It's direction. Of course, for instance, if I put this arm to your hand, it feels like there's a lot of weight. But I'm not putting my weight into that. If you would take away your hand now, I would lose everything, all the, let's say, balance. But if I put my structure behind and you take your hand away suddenly, it's not that I lose any balance. But the feeling for this kind of structure and energy is like it feels strong. But of course, it's not strong. It's just directed. Okay? So don't try to put some force downwards by your upper body or arms. Just use the turning, the Taino Tenkan, to take the partner's balance outside away to the back. Okay? Change again. Okay. Okay. Now, in my terms, this is a real beginner class. Yeah, because I think that's really interesting or really important to not just set up a form and then go through the form and leave it to be lucky or to fate if we understand what's going on, but analyze it and find out the details and check the details. Of course, this speed, what we now have, is just practice speed. We go super slow and we check like, okay, how's the connection in the beginning? How's my positioning? How can I change to the other side so that I did basically kind of irimi? And then how to take the partner's balance and start turning. Of course, this is just to check what's the relationship, how's the grasp, how's the stand, and which direction I can lead how I can extend that to the turn and so on, to use it then as an entrance. It's just the entrance, it's not yet any form. We have not yet applied any form after like sumitoshi or iriminage or shionage or whatever. Now of course, I guess the, let's say, practice speed to apply it should be more like this. Okay? But the quality of this movement should integrate the same stuff what we practice. If I would just try to turn and pull, I would actually dig my own grave. Some hit on the small ribs or the limbs or whatever. So what if I can take a balance as described immediately and change the direction immediately after? Of course, it's a good influence for the kid. And change for me to come into this situation behind the part. Of course, naturally, when I take your balance, you want to recover balance. And as soon as you have the, let's say, the window to recover balance, you actually want to probably stand up. So this is what we could integrate then to any form what we like. Small. Now, if you want, try to use this entrance, not like slow, but immediately. But check if you integrate the same understanding. So, if you don't feel kuzushi before my turning, obviously, I would be open for your second hand. So, I have to realize, do I do this step? Did I keep this? Could I start into turn and use this entrance to, for instance, fly in? Or But maybe you watch the previous videos where you can check this. All right, sorry. Maybe next time I check if the video is on. Thank you. It will be a great blooper, you know. Check yourself, look at the video. It's only below. Yeah. It's a podcast, yeah. See what you see. Yeah, do that, because I can already tell the week from 17th till probably 21st, I am not available. I have to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. All right. Yeah, that's good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Take care.